Kiners Korner is brought to you by Miller Genuine Draft. It's beer at its best. By NatWest USA, the people and the resources you need today and tomorrow. And by Mitsubishi Motors. Mitsubishi, perfecting the experience.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to our road edition of Kiners Korner. And here today in Chicago, we're going to be talking with manager Davey Johnson and also Captain Keith Hernandez. We'll also look at the scoreboard, check out the schedule, and we'll have all the things that we have back in New York right here from Chicago. And we'll be right back right after this message from Miller Genuine Draft. Well, here at our road edition of Kiners Korner, we have Guess Who This Is? And if you guess Keith Hernandez, it's right. And Keith, why'd you shave off the mustache?
Well, Ralph, I've had it for like 8 years, and I've been dicking around whether I should shave it for the last 2 years, and my ex-girlfriend would never let me shave it, so...
She is your ex-girlfriend.
Ex-girlfriend, so I said I've been thinking about it now for around 2 months, and I went home after last night's game and decided to do it, so I did it, obviously.
A little bit about yesterday's ball game, a day game. You made 2 errors in 1 inning. Is that the first time you ever made 2 errors in 1 inning?
Yeah, I thought it should have been 1 error. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, we still had the guy at first base. I made the bad throwing error, but that is the first time. But, you know, errors don't really bother me. It cost us a couple runs, and that's unfortunate. I feel badly about that, but I would have felt worse if it had been a careless error. I used 2 hands on the ball, and what happened was that I came too quick with my left hand, which is to cushion the ball in my glove, and the ball hit the back of my hand, which has never happened to me. So strange things are happening this year.
Well, strange things are happening. You're the new captain of the New York Mets. Is there anything that you do with the ball players to sort of turn things around? The Mets now at 500.
Well, we've been playing well of late, and we've played kind of poorly here the last 2 games, so you really can't just push panic buttons, because the last couple of weeks we've been playing a lot better ball. And when the Cubs had the 4-game series here against St. Louis, I was kind of hoping that they would win the last game and split, because when you play good teams, I hate to play good teams, but when you come in, they've been swept, or they've lost 3 out of 4, because they're a little meaner. And the Cardinals took 3 out of 4, and I just kind of, when I saw that, I was a little bit worried about that last series.
Well, Keith, it's the final game of this 3-game series here today. You've always hit well in this park. You got some coming.
Well, we got 2 more times to come in here, too. My timing's off right now. I'm out in front. I'm not waiting on the ball. So, you know, you just got to keep after it and keep swinging, and one day you come to the park, it's back, and when it comes back, I should stay hot maybe the rest of the year. I certainly haven't been hot all year, so I've got that coming, too.
Keith Hernandez, thank you, Keith.
Okay, Ralph.
And we'll be back with Davey Johnson right after this message from Mitsubishi Motors. Well, in our special edition of Kiners Korner on the road, we have Davey Johnson, the manager of the New York Mets. And Davey, the last 2 games here with the Cubs have been pretty tough on your stomach. I guess the Mets are really playing bad baseball here in this series. What has happened that you might be able to change?
Well, I don't know how I can change it too much. Right now, we're in a little disarray. We're sputtering. We're not playing heads-up baseball. We're still battling, but we're just kind of, looks like to me, we're kind of going through the motions instead of having that spark and that fire that we need to have to win a ball game.
It's a little bit self-destruct because you've had a squeeze play go awry on a mix-up in signs. A player picked off at second base on an intentional walk, which I've never seen before, and also 5 errors in the ball game yesterday.
Well, this is a pretty rough diamond. There's been some strange hops taken that they could have been called hits. But we didn't feel the ball well, but we were still in the ball game. We had a chance to win late in the ball game, and things went to heck in a handbasket. But we'll turn things around. I feel once our pitching gets a little more settled, we'll be a better ball club.
I noticed out here just prior to coming on with me that you were checking out Rick Aguilera. What about Rick? Is he due to come back?
Well, if he's going to come back at all, it'll probably be about 10 more days. It's the first time he's been able to throw, and he had a little uncomfortable feeling in there. And he'll throw again tomorrow, and if it's not any better, we'll just set him down for more rest.
Well, things are really working tough for you. And Darryl Strawberry, you had to fight him yesterday. He's been late the last 2 days coming to the ballpark here at Wrigley Field. What about his case?
Well, I really don't know. Normally when you and I played, when a guy was late, he was real embarrassed. He'd apologize to everybody, and but times have changed. I guess I'm supposed to go get him and tell him that he was late, you know. But I don't know. I think Darryl will be all right. It's just one of those times that we're going to have to get through, and hopefully he'll learn a lesson.
Is he in the starting lineup today?
No.
He is not in the starting lineup, but you do have some good news. At least you hope it's good news. Dwight Gooden is on the mound here for this game today.
Well, I expect a good game out of Dwight. I know he's fired up for it. If he can get through warm-ups without being, you know, harassed too badly, it's too close to the stands here, you know, and I'm sure they're going to have some choice words for him, but if he can get through that, we'll be all right.
Davey, I hope things change quickly.
I hope so too, Ralph.
Davey Johnson, and we'll be back with more after this message from Miller Lite Beer. Well, checking out the scoreboard and the schedule for today's action in the major leagues. The San Francisco Giants are in Cincinnati. They have the only other day game going. And, of course, the Giants winning yesterday and 2 games back of the Cincinnati Reds. Giants coming back after a devastating loss to Cincinnati in the first game of that series. Pittsburgh scheduled against the Montreal Expos in Montreal. The St. Louis Cardinals 2 up now on the Cubs, losing yesterday, playing Philadelphia. And the Dodgers are playing Atlanta. The Dodgers have won 3 in a row. San Diego playing Houston. They can't win for losing, as Houston beat them yesterday by a score of 1-0. Over in the American League, the White Sox in last place are scheduled against Oakland. Toronto playing the New York Yankees. Toronto in first place, of course, over the Yankees, who are in second. Boston playing Baltimore in Baltimore. Cleveland playing the California Angels. California finally winning yesterday. Milwaukee over Detroit, and they're playing in Detroit. Kansas City playing Minnesota, and the Texas Rangers are playing against Seattle. Right here, it's the Mets against the Chicago Cubs. It's Scott Sanderson on the mound for the Cubs, and Dwight Gooden will be going for the New York Mets. We'll return in just a moment, right after this message from NatWest USA.
When I was a football coach, sure I was tough on my players, and they loved me for it. Shucks, that's why they invited me here tonight, to share some Miller Lights and to show their appreciation. You know, light tastes great and it's less filling. So here's to the greatest emotion in the world, the friendship between a coach and his players. No thanks, boys, I gave up cigars.
For a great get-together, there's only one light beer. Miller Lite.
I just love these reunions, don't you, boys? Ooh, they love me.
Well, don't forget that we still have our Miller Lite contest, and the contest winner for today is Marie McMahon from Bloomfield, New Jersey, and she receives 4 tickets to a future Mets game. And the Mets playing their final game of this 3-game trip here in Chicago. They have lost the first 2. Both of them have been tough ball games to lose, as the Cubs won both games in their last at bat. And the Mets here going with Dwight Gooden, and Gooden making his second appearance of this season. His first was a winning effort. He went 6 2/3 innings, and he pulled off a win against Pittsburgh at Shea Stadium. This will be Gooden's first time out on the road, and of course they expect him to take a pretty good beating from the fans here in Chicago, but that's something he's going to have to face up to as he goes on the road and pitches other ball games away from the friendly confines of Shea Stadium. Gooden yesterday and the day before took some abuse from the fans in the bleachers, and they, of course, the bleacher bums here in Chicago are very tough on anybody that's an opposing player. And going for the Chicago Cubs, Scott Sanderson. He is a very slow working pitcher. You can expect a long game, and we hope it will be very exciting for you as the Mets play their final game here in Chicago. The Mets then go on to Pittsburgh for a series there, and then move from Pittsburgh to Montreal to close out the road trip before returning home to Shea Stadium. The weather conditions here are perfect today, overcast, and that's much better than having bright sunshine. It'll be much easier for the players to find the ball. This is a very difficult ballpark to play in. There's a lot of wind here and very hard to handle. So we're getting set for the start of the final game with the New York Mets and the Chicago Cubs. Stay with us.
Kiners Korner has been brought to you by Miller Lite Beer. For great taste, there is only one light beer. By Mitsubishi Motors. Mitsubishi, perfecting the experience. And by NatWest USA. The people and the resources you need today and tomorrow. Ralph Kiner's guest will receive a gift from Littman Jewelers, the Northeast's largest jewelers, a quartz watch by Pulsar, and a gift of Chinon's fine line of 35mm automatic cameras. Available now at Wholesale Photo, Midland Park, New Jersey, and at Grand Central Camera here in New York, or at the authorized Chenin dealer nearest you. Chenin, the great unknown. Kiners Korner, produced by Bill Webb and Steve Olbaum. Directed by Bill Webb.